Kunwar Singh, the paragon of strength and valor, a royal warrior, military commander, the link to an India before the British came to power and took the reins to dominate the entire country. Such was his determination to defeat the British powers that he even cut off his injured arm for fear of an infection that may impair his abilities to fight back successfully. This is the story of Babu Veer Kunwar Singh, an illustrious royal figure of Indian history who is regarded as one of the first freedom fighters to spearhead an attack against the British regime, setting in motion a chain of events that will later become the foundation of an independent India. Early life. Babu Kunwar Singh, also known as Kunwar Singh, was born Shahabzada Singh and Rani Panchratan Devi in Jagadishpur in the present-day Bhojpur district in Bihar on 13th November 1777. He also had a brother named Babu Amar Singh. He grew up in a royal family belonging to the Ujjainiya clan of the Parmar Rajput dynasty and was described by a British officer as a 6 feet tall man with an aquiline nose set in a broad face. It was also reported that growing up, his main interests lay in horse riding. He was also an excellent huntsman. He took over as a talukdar or ruling class aristocrats of Jagadishpur when his father Shahabzada Singh passed away in 1826. This led to some conflict over village allocation among his brothers who inherited them, but it was soon settled and they returned to their amicable relationships with each other. Later, Kunwar Singh got married to the daughter of the affluent zamindar Raja Fateh Narayan Singh, who was part of the Shishodia clan of Rajputs, managing the Devraj estate in the Gaya district. Political activities. Kunwar Singh's attack against the British regime set the stage for the independence movement and the reformations that accompanied it. His contributions and sacrifices to the freedom struggle had a huge impact on India and its people, inspiring them to continue the fight against the British to regain their motherland. The First War of Independence. The Revolt of 1857 is a critical milestone in the history of the Indian freedom struggle, also referred to as the Sepoy Mutiny. The event is considered to be India's first attempt in gaining independence from the British government, who had invaded the nation and established their dominance over its people. The revolt was triggered in Meerut on 10th May 1857 with the introduction of new rifle cartridges that were said to have been lubricated with grease derived from cows and pigs. The rumor reached the Hindu and Muslim soldiers employed by the British government, and they were extremely upset by this new method that went against their religious beliefs and sentiments. Very much offended by the introduction of such a weapon system, the Sepoys orchestrated a mutiny that later came to be regarded as India's beginning in rebellion against the British regime, the Revolt of 1857. The Siege of ARRAH, with the start of the violent rebellion by the Indian soldiers. Kunwar Singh took the opportunity to be in the vanguard of the independence movement in Bihar. Not for a single moment did he let his deteriorating health conditions or a body weakened by age stand in the way of his goal, which was to bring the British to heels. With his aim in mind, he assembled an army of selected armed soldiers and, at the age of 80, led them to fight against the soldiers working under the British East India Company, with assistance from his brother Amar Singh and his commander-in-chief Hari Krishna Singh, and by incorporating his own expertise in guerrilla warfare. Kunwar Singh took charge of the mutinying soldiers who were part of the uprising in Danapur on 25th July 1857. Mere 2 days later, on 27th July 1857, Singh and his army were triumphant in their efforts to surround the British army and occupy the region of ARRAH, the district headquarters. However, their victory was short-lived as on 3rd August 1857, Major General Sir Vincent Eyre, an Indian Army officer, was able to reclaim ARRAH by defeating Kunwar Singh and his army while simultaneously getting his revenge by destroying Jagadishpur. Returns and retaliations. After evading capture from Major Eyre following the siege of ARRAH, Kunwar Singh returned to continue his battle with the British. After getting his second wind with support from other rebelling groups in different parts of India, he persisted in his efforts to drive the British out of his region. He participated in several more battles with determination and grit, learning from his successes as well as failures, and using his keen intelligence and mastery in the art of war to release his nation from the greedy clutches of the British. It was during this time that Kunwar Singh and his companions were once attempting to cross the river Ganges to Jagadishpur when they were targeted by the British troop led by Brigadier Douglas, who began to shoot at them. As a result, a bullet struck Kunwar Singh in his left wrist. Perceiving it to be useless and also fearing the spread of infection, he, without any hesitation, immediately cut off his injured hand to prevent any further damage. Death. Kunwar Singh and his army had managed to occupy the city of Azamgarh, presently located in Uttar Pradesh, for about a month when he decided to return to ARRAH in March of 1858 due to being pursued by Douglas. This turned out to be his final journey from the battlegrounds of his country, where he gave his everything in one last fight for his motherland. During his return to Jagadishpur, he was once again faced with the soldiers operating under the command of the British East India Company. The British Army was headed by Captain Legrand. Another battle ensued between both the armies on 22nd and 23rd April 1858. In spite of sustaining severe injuries, Kunwar Singh fought back with all his might and was able to defeat and scatter the armed soldiers of Captain Legrand in the vicious but victorious battle in Jagadishpur on 23rd April 1858. To add insult to the literal injuries sustained by the British forces, Veer Kunwar Singh went ahead and brought down the Union Jack, also known as the Union flag, of the British from the Jagadishpur fort and hoisted the Indian national flag in its stead in the exact same location. Basking in the glory of his success, Kunwar Singh returned to his palace to recuperate from the wounds he sustained in the battle. However, the injuries were too severe in nature for him to make a recovery. Finally, after 3 days of pain and sufferings, Veer Kunwar Singh succumbed to his injuries and passed away on 26 April 1858. He was succeeded by his brother Amar Singh, who took over the roles and responsibilities of the deceased freedom fighter. Legacy. The contributions made by Kunwar Singh to the Indian independence movement play an important role in the country's history. He is the much respected subject of innumerable Bhojpuri folk songs that highlight his heroism and bravery in the battles against the British forces. To commemorate his services, the Indian government issued a stamp in his honor on 23rd April 1966. Such was the mark left by the anti-colonial revolutionary that a caste-based militia, Kunwar Sena or Kunwar Sena, was established in the 1970s in Bihar. It mainly consisted of young Rajput men who came together in an effort to beat the Naxalite insurgents. His residence in Jagadishpur was converted into a museum by the government of Bihar and was named after him as the Veer Kunwar Singh Museum in 1972. Similarly, as part of the celebration of his 160th death anniversary in 2018, a statue of Kunwar Singh was relocated to the Hardinge Park, which was then officially named to Veer Kunwar Singh Azadi Park by the Bihar government. The ARRAH Chhapra Bridge, or the Veer Kunwar Singh Setu, was built in honor of the freedom fighter and inaugurated in 2017. The bridge has the notable feature of being one of the longest bridge above water in India, connecting the north and south parts of Bihar. There have been numerous contributions made to the legendary warrior in several fields, including the education sector. The government of Bihar paid homage to their fearless leader by establishing the Veer Kunwar Singh University at ARRAH. In the year 1992, Kunwar Singh's presence can be heavily felt in the literary world as well. The distinguished fighter can be found mentioned in a popular poem penned by Subhadra Kumari Chauhan, titled Jhansi Ki Rani. There is also a play created by the renowned Hindi writer and playwright Jagdish Chandra Mathur known as Vijay Ki Vela, or Moment of Victory. It is based on the later life of Babu Veer Kunwar Singh. Recently, a world record was made in April 2022 when the people of India waved around 78,000 national flags in celebration of an announcement by the Indian Home Minister Amit Shah, who stated that another statue of Kunwar Singh will be installed at ARRAH in Bhojpur as a tribute to the sacrifices made by the courageous leader to secure independence for India. Conclusion: a warrior for whom defeating the British was of such utmost importance that he would rather fight without a hand than with an injured and infected one. Babu Veer Kunwar Singh is indeed the epitome of sacrifice and service. His willingness and courage to seek justice for his people and freedom for his country paved the way for other revolutionaries and freedom fighters to come forward and pick up where he left off, and to persist in their efforts till they attain their goals.